What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Episode 4 today of the Texans franchise. We are in week 4, and we are going to be taking on the LA Chargers this week. Both teams 0-3. And after last video, we need something to click on offense, man. It was a bad performance. I was very shocked by how much worse our offense was compared to our defense. I thought our defense would struggle more. I mean, look at the defense is a 75 overall, but they actually sort of held their own. I'm not saying that the defense was playing phenomenal, right? Because obviously we gave up a lot of points. Jonathan Taylor was able to do what he wanted to. So was Matt Ryan. But given the overall that we have on defense, and then also how little help the offense gave, I actually sort of am giving a break to the defense for that performance. A lot of it also is right on Davis Mills. I mean, 3 interceptions, and almost all of them looked horrible. Like, there wasn't any of them that was just like, dang, that's just a really good play. It was bad throws. And we're gonna have to see a lot more from him for me to feel confident in sticking with him as our quarterback. So hopefully today, even though there is a very tough matchup against the LA Chargers, I'm hoping we can see a little something more from the offense. Before we get to the game though, I do want to take a look more at the college prospects and start to get a little bit of a feel for what we can try and aim for and the kind of players that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into the prospects. All right, with this, we're going to actually start here with all players, and I'm just going to go down the list and sort of see where this board falls with these players and who, you know, is projected to go at which pick, because we all know, hopefully it's different. Hopefully Madden really did make a push to update this, but we know Madden loves to just go in order from their board. So right now we have 2 quarterbacks right up top, Hudson and Walters, then a couple of rushers, Woodyard and Truman, 2 edge rushers, 2 speed rusher types, which is really nice to see. And then we have a massive right tackle, David Jones, 6'8", 322. Oh, another lineman, Jeremiah Ellington. Silas Davidson, 6'3" corner out of Kentucky. Another edge rusher out of West Virginia. Really like his build, 6'6", 255, Braxton McManus. It's a mouthful of a name, too. There was one of the left tackles that I'm hoping that we can get more info out of. So I'm looking here, and what I'm seeing is a lot of up front, the big uglies, right? Edge rushers, defensive line, offensive line, which is an area that I think we really do need to hit on in this draft or in free agency. We don't know what's going to come in free agency. We might get, you know, a pretty good player. I know we're going to have some money to spend. It's just, can we get them to come to Houston is really going to be the issue. And I'm really not going to focus on the quarterbacks at all this year. I'm hoping that doesn't bite me, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at Kenny Woodyard out of Notre Dame. It says that we're one of the top fits, physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits. I wonder if that means he's going to have a big hitter trait. Loves to utilize a spin as a counter move, has a swift arm over move in his arsenal, will utilize power and leverage to bull through pass protectors, has a hot motor that runs through the whistle. We know that's high motor. Often looks to rip the ball from runners, so that might mean he's got strip ball as well. Shows good discipline, so Woodyard is looking like a really good prospect, and he is only 21. A finesse move, D power move, but I'm really not too concerned about the power move aspect because my concern is a speed rusher. You know, in a 4-3, you need to have speed rushers. You can't be going with power rushers. Maybe at D tackle, you can get away with that. I do like having one there, but you need the speed rushers on the ends, and this guy, obviously he's top 5 for a reason. He might be a guy we really have to look at a little bit more. And I know that we're not doing too much with the defensive ends, but I'm hoping that I can at least try and get some more out of them from the focus players and the private workouts, because there just wasn't enough of them in certain areas for me to utilize an entire scout when there was a better opportunity elsewhere. You can look here, Wendell Truman has pretty much the same type of fit. The same player notes, really. Skill-wise, we really don't know much. We know that he's smart. B awareness, B play rec. That's pretty good for a rookie. And C block shedding, which is fine because really at the end position, as much as block shedding is awesome, it's usually more so used on the run stopping front. So pass rushing, it doesn't. I mean, obviously, Obviously it helps, but it doesn't mean that they're just not going to do good if they don't have great block shedding and they're, a defensive end as a speed rusher. Can't forget to look at David Jones, because we do need a right tackle, and there's not really many great tackles in this draft. He's got great awareness, but that injury is an F. Man, I really don't like that. It's always risky because, it might end up being the case where everybody in the class has really good injury, and he might be the worst at like 85, and it's really not that bad. But then you also might get somebody who has 78 injury. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but in Madden terms, it is a big difference. We'll keep an eye on him, though, for sure. Another lineman, Jeremiah Ellington, says he's got a good discipline as well. Very important with offensive linemen more than I think anything else is, what is their penalty discipline at? If they're disciplined, that's a big plus, because that really limits the amount of holding penalties you can expect from them. I do like his impact blocking being an A. Then he's got lead block and pass block, both B. So this guy's already looking like a good prospect. We're going to definitely put our favorite marker on him. Silas Davidson, really not interested in a corner at this point, but got to look at, he's 6'3", 200, man. You got to take a look at him, right? A catching, B tackle, D man coverage. Oof. So I wonder, this is what I was thinking too, is this guy is a corner, right? 6'3", 200 pounds, but he's got B tackle and he's got bad man coverage. That right there signifies to me that he might be a better day one free safety than he is a corner. And that's sort of sometimes what I'm looking for in prospects as well. You might not get the guy that is a bona fide star at the position he's in, but he might fit another position, especially in the secondary. You can really toy around with that stuff. That just makes him into a great player. So while I'm not going to put him on our favorites list because I'm really not going to be looking to draft a corner in the first round, I am going to keep an eye on him for future reference. And then Braxton McManus, the guy I mentioned before, he is another edge rusher that I would like to keep more tabs on. 6'6", 255 pounds. He's 22, out of West Virginia. And it looks like he's got a lot of the same notes as the other guys. And you look here, he's got A, play recognition, B, finesse move, B, pursuit. Might end up being a great defensive end option. I love taking these outside backers and moving them to the defensive end position into a 4-3, because they usually translate really well, and they usually end up having a little bit more speed and acceleration than what you get at the defensive end position. Jaleel Walton, another one that has good discipline and a high motor. I really, really like this guy so far. A, pass block finesse, A, awareness, B, injury. He's definitely going on the favorites list. And then Josh Ware here is another defensive end, but I see him playing as a much better 3 technique in our 4-3 system. Has all good player notes. I don't see anything here that, is a negative. He is 23, which I'm not a fan of drafting 23-year-old rookies, but, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. He's got poor marginal, quite a few categories, right? Which, when you're a bigger defensive end, like I said, he's 6'6", 306 pounds. When you are that size and you're at the defensive end position, of course, you're going to be slower than a lot of the guys because you have those speed rushers there. But when you move them to D tackle a lot of the times, they are right on par, if not even more athletic than what you would get out of a normal defensive tackle position. And then when you look at the attributes, he's got A's on all 3 that are unlocked: block shedding, play rec, and tackle. That is huge. Perfect for a defensive tackle position. And then here in the later parts of the first round, I found Timmy Hartman, center. He is also 23, but we do need to find an answer at center long term. JC Treader is not going to last much longer. I'm not sure what the free agent pool is going to look like, but this is also a position that we might have to have high on our board. You can see here he's got A, impact block, A, run block power. Not the greatest pass block, but at center, I'm not as concerned about that as I am a tackle, obviously. They have help with double teams on the inside, and it's still a C. It's not like it's a D or an F, so somebody I would like to keep an eye on. And then looking here at our first safety, Quincy Booker out of Notre Dame, 21 years old, 6 foot, 210. Doesn't have much unlocked yet, but I like his build. I like his player notes. It looks like he might have big hitter trait. He has strip ball as well, and he's got B hit power. Does only have D play rec, but he has A awareness. So I want to definitely see what some of these other ratings are going to be. And this might be my favorite prospect so far for the safeties, Dakota Stapleton. I've been looking at a few of these guys sort of in my off camera. And man, 6'2", 222 pounds, B hit power and B man coverage. Doesn't have the greatest speed, solid to good, but then you throw in that he's got the ability possibly to move to strong safety, and then that speed that doesn't really affect as much. Not that you want to have a slow, strong safety, but if you're going to have a slower secondary player, if he can hit, strong safety is fine. I'm still looking through these prospects, and I think I hit sort of a lull because nobody's really jumping out at me just yet. But of course, we're still really early in the season. We only have, I think, 35, maybe 40 is the highest completion percentage we have on any player. So this is really just an initial sort of skim through. We'll make this list much better as the season goes on. I'm sort of just scanning the attributes on the far right. Like here, Shaquem Shepard, he's got A catching traffic, B catching, 5'11", 192, decent to solid speed. Not a big fan of him not having great speed, especially if you're not going to be 6 foot plus. It's going to be really upsetting if all of the most populated positions end up having a bunch of busts, because it's tough when you're deciding between what to go for. Do you go for the positions you absolutely need and ignore the bonuses you get? Or do you go for the strengths and the quantity to try and learn as much as you can about as many players and sort of go away from your actual need? Now, right now, we're sort of in the spot where we need almost everything. So I'm not really doing either one, or I'm not really just foregoing one or the other because we have that luxury right now. But it is tough to make that decision, and I hope it doesn't end up biting me, because so far I'm into the second, third rounds. I'm not seeing anybody completely jump off the page yet at me at halfback or receiver, and that was really who we honed in on, you know? Oh, wait a minute. I might have spoke a little too soon. Bryce Batten. That's a name. 6 foot, 224 out of Georgia. B ball carrier vision, A carrying. Decent to solid speed. So I'm assuming this is going to be more of a power back type of, D juke move. So this would be a power back, but that is some good initial ratings. Keenan Bingham. Let's see him. 21 years old, 6'4", 232 out of Baylor. B catching traffic, C release. Still not much for speed, but with that size, that might make up for it a little bit. And then here's a tight end, Leo Walsh out of Ole Miss, 6'5", 246, A catching traffic. I love to see that. Solid to good speed. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, look at this. A pass blocking, A catching traffic, B injury, D spectacular catch. So, I mean, with tight ends, yeah, you want to have great everything, but spectacular catch isn't the most important at tight end. Catching traffic definitely is, because chances are if they're catching the ball, they're probably going to be around a linebacker. So this guy is definitely somebody we're going to watch. And he just so happens to fall in the area that I'm scouting with tight ends, which means we'll learn a little bit more about him than we will some of the others. Found another awesome prospect here, Conrad Stockton, a center, second to third round projection, 21 years old, 6'3", 296, definitely a center. You can't play guard below 300. I fully believe that. Not even really a fan of him being sub 300, even at center, but you can't dispute the ratings right now. A's in everything: awareness, pass block, and pass block power. James Pearson here isn't as flashy, but we'll put a little heart on him as well. All right, so I pretty much went through everybody up to day 3 now, and haven't had anybody too much jump out at me. Obviously, I cut down a lot of the looking through that I did because it didn't make much sense for me to just keep endlessly talking. But I did see some pretty good guys. I have a decent list here started. Of course, this list will change, grow, shrink, and everything in between now and the draft. But we do have a decent start to what we are going to be looking for. It seems as though we are going to end up having to try and find a defensive end early. The few guys that I saw that seemed to have the type of attributes that I wanted, the grades anyway, are all up top, which of course, I mean, goes for every player, but I feel that we desperately do need a game-changing edge rusher. And if we want that right away, we're going to have to go up top here. So Kenny Woodyard will be the top guy on our favorites list. Still debating if I want to move Wendell Truman up or if I like one of these linemen as well. Time will tell what comes of this list, but for now, we got a decent base going. You know, looking at the running backs as a whole, as I mentioned before, I would like to bring in another running back. We have a lot of guys to choose from, but we just really have to learn more about them. We will learn a lot more about them once we have the national scout in place in a few weeks. Then things are going to start unlocking and we'll know who's who of this class. Because there is a lot of guys that I'm looking at here. I mean, just in the first, second round, Donald Brown, Reggie Felder, Henry Johnston, Larry Adams, Oscar Brown, Kevin Pryor, Teague. He's a little light for me. I mean, I know that this guy is, 204 and whatnot, but once you go below 200, I'm not a big fan. Brian Hendricks as well, 215. That's a nice size. And there are some guys down here that are more so like power backs, like Batten, Sweet, Wells here, that I'll keep tabs on because I do like the power backs. Receiver is something that I would also like to start bringing in. I didn't get a chance to see too many, but I really want to see more of the unlocks before I start really judging the crap out of these guys too much. So we'll come back to this, of course. I do have a few guys that I'm sort of keying in on right now that I would really like to be able to get on this team if they pan out the way I hope they will. But yeah, this is still very, very much a work in progress. And then I had a comment on one of my videos about Philip Dorsett, and they said, you could have just traded him for something. And I got to thinking, maybe I should, because Nico Collins is the guy that I want to build up. I think Chris Conley had a pretty good performance last week. And then I did bring in Denzel Mims in those trades earlier this year. Plus we have Connor Weddington and Bo Melton still on the roster. And Dorsett is, even if I had him on the depth chart, he'd really just be taking up space that somebody else could be using. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to trade him away for probably players. I might just trade him away for picks, maybe like a 5th round or 6th round or something, nothing major. But let's go ahead and let's see where his services could be used. So I found the Ravens, and if I trade Dorsett to the Ravens, he's actually tied for their number 2 best receiver on the team. So he could immediately get some more playing time, and we could get a late round pick for him. I do not think that even if the Ravens would take a 3rd or a 4th, I don't think that makes any sense, given how saturated the market is for receivers. And as you guys know from my last series, I really do not like to take advantage of the CPU. So we're going to go ahead, we're just going to do a 5th rounder for him. He becomes a starter basically for them. And the Ravens have multiple 5th round picks anyway. So let's go ahead and let's see if they'll take this. And they do, so there we go. We sent Philip Dorsett away for a 5th round pick, which, now does open things up a little bit. I would like to see if Mims has anything. Definitely going to get Collins more involved this week, I think. And since we have the extra roster spot, I decided to take a look around the trade block. And I decided that I want to try and bring in a 3rd quarterback because after last week, I am not too happy with Davis Mills. And now this is not intended to be me not starting Davis Mills, but in case something crazy happens again, I need somebody better than a 63 to come in and run this offense if something were to happen. So Gardner Minshew is sitting on the Eagles here. Let's bring Minshew Mania to Houston, and let's see if we can get ourselves an established long-term solution at QB2. And I'm going to offer up the 5th round pick we just got along with one of our 7th round picks to see if we can bring him in. Ooh, not quite. Okay. All right, so they were not happy with the 5th and 7th. So I'm going to try and see if I can do a 5th this year and a 5th next year to see if we can get Gardner Minshew in as our QB2. And there we go. 2 cheap picks that we really didn't even need. Pretty much what we did was we took next year's 5th and Philip Dorsett and turned him into Gardner Minshew. I'm happy with that. All right, I have done enough messing around now. It is time for us to do this weekly strategy, and then let's go ahead and let's take on these Chargers. So, starting off with our strategy this week, I think we are going to stick with defend the medium pass. Not that I don't respect the run game of the Chargers, I just really respect the passing game of Justin Herbert and the receivers that he has there. So we're going to stick with that. And then on defense, I think we're going to have to do blitz counter because these guys got some rushers, man. They've got some serious rushers. Khalil Mack, as you can see there in the picture, they have Joey Bosa. We got to try and keep Davis Mills upright, so we're going to go with blitz counter for this week. All right, now on to the team goal selections. For the offense, I want us to get 15 first downs. I think that's a good goal. We've got to be able to establish some consistency on offense. We want to try and get 300 yards. All right. And then we want to allow... We'll do 24. I almost got a little extra, confident at 20, but I'm like, man, this is the Chargers. Our defense is a 75. I should do 30, but that would be insulting. I'm going to do 24. And then for our weekly game plan, we really need to get Davis Mills throwing this ball better. Let's go for get 2 passing touchdowns. We'll stick with that. There we go. All right, let's train. Cross our fingers we don't have any injuries, because that would really suck. Brandon Cooks is out with a high ankle sprain. Are you serious right now? And now he's going to be out for this week. Let's see what the upgrades have. Oh, Davis Mills and Jalen Petrie. There we go. Let's do improviser. And that is going to get us some extra throw power. There we go. All right. And then Jalen Petrie, we definitely have to do zone because we definitely want to get him back to being... We want to make him a scheme fit, and he's going to be our zone guy. So we got to work on that. There we go. All right. I think that is it. Let's go ahead and let's play these Chargers, man. I think it's time. All right. So you might be wondering what the heck happened here. So I wasn't even paying attention, and we fumbled on the opening kickoff. Yeah, opening kickoff fumbled. Very surprising because I haven't seen that at all this year. So yeah, that happened. So now the Chargers are about to, score a touchdown here after a huge mistake on Connor Weddington's part. Really unfortunate to see that. Wow, 1st and goal. There we go. Nice play by Grenard. He got right through there. Makes a big play in the backfield. Excellent play. 2nd and goal now from the 6. And one other thing that I do notice is this game does not keep your depth chart very well. And there's a touchdown to Donald Parham. Oh no, Eric Ebron. Forgot, Parham's not here anymore. What am I thinking? But yeah, your depth chart doesn't get saved. So now we're going to get a chance to play off some offense, even though we're down. Yeah, look at 6 picks, one touchdown so far for Davis Mills. He's having such a bad season, man. Oh boy. Oh man. Hopefully we don't have to call on Gardner Minshew, but he's here if we need him. So here's our first chance to see what this offense looks like. And yeah, so the depth chart does not get saved. You're going to want to make sure that you adjust that before your game if you're playing. Oh, nice initial play, and it's to Denzel Mims. First time seeing him in some action thanks to the Brandon Cooks injury, and he goes for a 22-yard play on the opening play. Great to see. That was similar to that Jalen Camp play in preseason. Mills got time, but he got to get rid of it. Time ran out quickly. 3 split to the left. Jordan in the slot right. Mills under pressure. He's going to sling this thing deep, and it is incomplete. Got to be able to get rid of that ball sooner than that. Quick throw over the middle, wide open. Brevin Jordan up the middle, down to the 23. Beautiful shot. Jordan was wide open. Now play action to Pierce, and another quick throw outside. It's caught by Janovich. And another gain of about 10, close to a first. Have not run the ball at all yet. Sort of curious to see what that's going to look like. And, oh, well, we're not going to see it on this play. Oh, man. Yep. I was sort of worried that might happen. We're going to have to adjust our play clock rundown. I was trying to do 12 because I noticed that there was a lot of plays getting called. And I just didn't like it. So I went from 13 to 12, and yeah. Yep, so we're going to have to move that back up to 13. And off to Dearness Johnson around the outside. He'll get down to the 16-yard line. It only happens on some of those plays, but I really wish they would fix that too. Those players do not take 5 seconds to run outside like that. Mills got time firing. He's found Nico Collins, who's down to the 1. Thought he was going to be able to get in, but he's dropped just short, but we will take it. First and goal now. Looking good for us so far. Mills. Quick throw outside, caught by Jordan. Touchdown, we answer right back. Really excited to see what Brevin Jordan can bring to us in the future, guys. I really am. I think he's going to be a great tight end for us. Great to see Davis Mills come out with a little bit more confidence and find some open receivers on the first series. Herbert and company back out on offense. I'm going to throw it right away over the middle. Mike Williams makes the catch, and he is dropped after 4. Really don't like how I have essentially not seen any runs from either team. Not a fan of that. I don't know why this keeps being a thing. There was sort of an issue with that last year, if I remember correctly, where a lot of playbooks would just completely abandon the run. Even on 3rd and inches, they abandoned the run. Oh, wow. Horrible play call there by Nelson. Or not play call, but playing on the ball. Nelson just didn't even try to contend Mike Williams. Another play action. Shot to the left. Caught again. Keenan Allen down to the 17. Man, I don't know how low I'm going to have to go with these QB sliders for accuracy, because I have it down to 41, and it looks like some of these guys can do no wrong. Herbert over the middle. Yeah, wow. Nobody even tried to get in front of that thing. Feel like somebody could have put an arm up. You know, it's a work in progress. You know, the sliders is just a starting point. Definitely a work in progress. Maybe we can bring some things back up. We'll see how the game goes. Who knows? We probably would have done that on base sliders too. And there's a sack. Rasheem Green getting through quickly. And he'll bring down Herbert back at the 10-yard line. He's going to push him back just a little bit. Give us a little bit more room to defend. Herbert, quick drop. Fires over the middle. Mike Williams makes the catch and works his way in for a touchdown. 14-7 is going to be the score here shortly. We've got to expect that pressure is going to come quick today. We got Mack on one side and Bosa on the other. Ooh, a nice pass there to Thomas right over the middle. And down to the 41. I like that there's a little bit more room underneath, but I'm also not liking how it looks like a lot of the linebackers are not able to cover at all. I don't know if you guys are noticing that already. I am. Mills, shot over the middle, and again wide open is Nico Collins. So maybe what we could do is we could bring the pass coverage and react time back up to default and just leave the interceptions low. I was really hoping, though, oh, wow, first run, and it is absolutely the worst decision we could have made. I don't know if you guys know this, if you guys haven't watched my Viking series, I hate pitch plays and tosses in Madden because for the last 4 or 5 years, this game has had no idea how to properly program the linemen. And because of that, any toss you do about 9 out of 10 times is going to be an absolute horrible decision. It just never works. And it's really frustrating because, I mean, obviously tosses can work well if used right in real football. Mills taking a deep drop and finds somebody on the sideline. It's Jordan again, but he will be short of the first, and we will have to try a field goal. Had pressure in his face. Nice job delivering the ball, though, with Bosa right there. Yeah, sometimes I feel like Madden does this on purpose, like make the players play worse, because every year they do all of these patches, right? Every year. You know, how many, like 10 to 15 patches a year. Sometimes there's hot fixes, sometimes it's just the monthly ones. And they always have to fix AI, right? They always have to fix the AI. There's a nice play from Pierce. Always. And yet every year, it's like all of the changes they made just disappear. Which make no sense, because, I mean, this isn't even a knock against them. We all know that they just remake the game. Like, we all know that. That's not a secret. It's not like just a talking point of people who are not great supporters of Madden. We all know that they just remake the same game. They use the same game to make the new game. We get it. Oh, wow, big play there from Conley. And yeah, I'm definitely seeing some issues with the defenders now, so we'll change that. But what I'm trying to say is, what happens? How do these guys, how do you, every year, if you're using the same game, how do you undo every good thing you have added to the AI year after year and create even more problems? Because you made the defense better this year. That's great. How does that make the run blocking horrible? How does that make quarterbacks just stupid? How does it make the running backs not know where to run? You know, like if you go back to like the early summer, late spring months of Madden, right? You can look, you can actually use the RFL channel. If you guys don't know, I work a lot with the RFL. We run strictly with this, and our RFL season always coincides with January to the June area. You can watch and you can see as the gameplay literally gets better towards the end of the season because of all the fixes that EA has done. And then we get to the release of the new Madden, and it's absolute crap. Nothing works. You know, it just drives me up a wall how this gets signed off on every year. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I get it. You know, the game is not technically meant to be played this way. That's fair enough. But regardless if you're playing this way or you're playing as a user, the other team is still AI controlled. You know what I mean? So you can say that this isn't the way the game is intended to be played. That's fine. I can agree with you on that. I don't care. Oh, wow. That was a nice play, though. I mean, I can't even be upset about that. Good play by the defense. But back to what I was saying is, you can say that it's not meant to be played this way. That's fine, because technically it isn't. But the AI is still controlled on one side, you know? And nobody is playing, not everybody. Oh, wow. Huge shot to Ebron. Yeah, this defense is not looking too good right now. But not every Madden player in the world is playing online head-to-head. And maybe that's what you guys want, but guess what? That is never going to be the case. Ever. It's never going to be the case. And it's just really frustrating when you have to have an entire AI team to play against when you're playing on your own in franchise, and they can't even comprehend how to play football. And it just really shows through when you watch it like this, because this is true to form how the game should play. There is, oh, big run there. Nice run for Eckler. But there is no real, there is no user manipulation to adjust how these animations and sequences should work. This is the most natural way the game should be played. This is how it should look the smoothest. If anything, it should look less smooth when there's user input put into it, because the AI is meshed together to gel, right? So it just makes no sense to me, man. It really doesn't. And I feel like it's the same thing every year, and the same arguments every year, how it just seems to regress. Like, you guys don't have to make the game worse for us to keep buying it. We would buy it more if you just kept the dang thing working properly. Nice play by the DB there. I think that was King? Yeah. You know, Rasheem Green is now hurt. Man, we're getting a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries, especially along the D-line. Huge shot over the middle to Ebron, who is just unstoppable today. So is Herbert. Even Davis Mills is looking like a good quarterback. So we definitely got to work on these sliders. But, yeah, so that was just my little bit of a rant there. I went on for like a whole 2 drives, seemed like. Touchdown for Chargers. Yep, there it is. But, yeah, it's just really frustrating because, I mean, in my opinion, you should not have to adjust all the sliders for the game to work, or for it to sort of work. That should not be our job as a consumer. Mills is sort of looking how I want all quarterbacks to look right now, which means to tell me that because he's such a low overall, I'm really going to have to do a lot more. Oh, another big catch for Jordan. But see, right there too, I feel like because I lowered the pass coverage, I feel like a lot more of those catches are being made right now. So what I'm going to have to do is raise pass coverage back to 50, probably reaction time back to 50, and maybe bring interceptions back up to maybe 10 or 15. There's a nice little cutback for Pierce. And I don't know how many more games we're going to watch this series, or this season. We have just not played very well, right? And as much as it's like I want to see what these guys can do, I don't want it to be so bad where it's boring, you know. And we're here to watch the Texans, you know, and right now we're not looking good at all. We do need to get to the offseason. We do definitely need to bring in some players. Ooh, a big play there. I don't think that was a fumble. We recovered it anyway, but I definitely... Why are you celebrating that? See that? The coding in this game is so backwards. You can't code the guy to not celebrate his own fumble recovery because he fumbled it? It just... Oh, my God. It just drives me nuts sometimes. All right, empty backfield for Mills here. 4:50 to go in the first half. Looking, finally fires it. He's got a wide open Dearness Johnson down to the 21. And we're going to go right back to Pierce. Pierce, oh, spinning off of 1 down to the 21-yard line. There we go. That was sort of a nice lane there for the blocks. And I am sort of trying to hold my disdain for the run blocking at bay because I do feel like a lot of it is our own fault. Nice throw there to Mims. Because of our line right now, our line is horrible. It's not horrible. I mean, we have some decent pieces, but they need some time to develop yet. Awareness is low on a lot of them. So we're gonna hold tight on the 60 there. First down. Another handoff to Pierce. Finds a nice little gap. Gets smacked hard, but he will get down to the 5. So he has turned it around. If you take away that one run for -6, he's got 6 for 17 right now, which isn't the best. There's Johnson trying to reach out, but he couldn't get there. So we are running the ball a little bit more, so maybe I wasn't seeing things properly. I don't like how many pass plays were called, though. That's why I lowered it to 12 for the runoff. And there's a touchdown. Is that Luke Stocker? Yes, it is. Luke Stocker, the veteran, getting in for the touchdown. And we will bring this thing back within a score, heading towards halftime. You've got to be kidding me. I wasn't even calling the game because I'm like, well, this is over. And then I'm sitting here and I see that. But I feel like we did neuter the defense a little bit with these sliders, the first set. Mills over the middle, nice throw. Mims again. Mims still on his feet down to the 25. He has been a nightmare for the defense. And we need a big throw here, 3rd and 10. Mack is coming. Mills got to get rid of it. He does, and it is incomplete. We have a chance here that we could get back within 1 again if we can drive down and score a touchdown. Mills under pressure right away, and he finds Jordan, who does a great job adjusting to the ball. And it'll be a pickup of 8 yards, 8 catches, 97 yards for Jordan today. Hand off to Johnson, and Johnson spins off of 1. And reaching forward, they're going to say he got forward progress for the first. Really like what I'm seeing out of Johnson. That makes me feel like maybe I should just trade Marlon Mack away now. Try and get what I can for him. There might be an injury somewhere that I don't know about in the league where he could be a potentially good fit to maybe not start, but at least serve as depth. 2nd and 8. Mills scanning, dumps it off. Johnson makes the catch to the 43. Now, of course, Johnson is probably not going to be our running back of the future, but a 1-2 punch of him and Pierce for this season, I think he'll be okay. And then we'll be looking for the draft and free agency, and there goes Khalil Mack, the crafty veteran, getting back there. We have not been able to get coverage over that middle. Neither team really has. So I don't know if that is an issue with what I chose or what. Oh, there's a pick. There's a pick. Who is that? It's Desmond King. He's going to take it all the way. Justin Herbert there, but he won't catch him. Touchdown, Houston. And we are going to get back within one thanks to Desmond King. Oh, no, we're going to go for the tie here. It's fourth quarter. We know that this is a game we probably shouldn't have even be involved in right now, but we are here. Mills looking, scanning, lets it go. Somehow he holds on in double coverage, and Denzel Mims just beasted his way to a 2-point conversion for the tie. I was too afraid that we weren't even going to get a replay on this, that I had to watch this again. Maybe there was some Madden craziness at play here to make this play work, but we're going to check it out anyway. So we got Mills. He's going to take the snap, and he's got him open right there. You know, he could throw it right there. Probably should have about 2 seconds ago. Like right here, boom, you got to hit that. But Mims just doing stuff. Look at this. Let's see this catch here. Find a good angle. Let's do over here. I saw from that side. It looked pretty messed up. Look at that. Goes up and just hauls that thing in with arms and hands all over him and holds on. Wow. What a play by Denzel Mims. I was really like, it was really weird to me that I still think that obviously the quarterback accuracy is a problem, and my pass coverage stuff definitely did not help, but I mean, what do you have to do to limit interceptions? Like, I felt like because I went all the way to 5 that there would be absolutely no interceptions, but my defense is playing actually pretty good and in par with what I expect them to play. Still, you know, like this is, and maybe not against such a great quarterback, but I am expecting them to make plays, you know? It's a very weird game. Very weird game this year. Hoping for a huge AI update in the next patch. And there's Ebron again, Captain Unstoppable. Third down. Can we get an unexpected stop here? Herbert, no we can't. Ebron just demolishing our secondary as he now, look at Herbert, 440 yards. Is this man going to break the record against us? In my attempts to try and figure out these sliders, did I just unleash the greatest quarterback performance of all time? Oh, look at that. We took 3 of us, but we finally forced an incompletion with Ebron. It only took 3 defenders. Wow. Okay, handoff to Eckler, and we are there enough to slow him down to gain a 3. 3rd and goal from the 5. Got to get pressure here quick if we want to stop him. Herbert. Uh-oh, not getting that pressure. Finally do, but it's too late. Ebron catches it. Doesn't even look like he was in the end zone, but they'll say he was. Touchdown, LA. They can run this clock out as much as possible. Just take a field goal to put it a 2-possession game. And ride out here with their first win of the season. Oh, never mind. What a play by Kirksey. He stood there tall. I don't know if maybe Herbert didn't see him or what, but Kirksey was there, makes the interception, and we have ourselves a chance to come back. Oh, yeah, look at, he just sort of ducked down behind 77 there and then popped up. That was incredible play by Kirksey. Okay, now can Davis Mills lead us down? 2:22 to go. We have all 3 timeouts, but we need to go 80 yards. Mills over the middle. He's got a man, and it is, of course, Denzel Mims. 7 catches, 124 yards for Mims today. And, of course, that clutch 2-point conversion from earlier. Mills dumps it off short to Jordan. He gets out of bounds after 3, and we'll take it. I mean, at least we stopped the clock. We got positive yards. 11 catches, $118, though, for Jordan as well. So Ebron's not the only one unstoppable. Mills taking a shot deep down the left side, and it's incomplete, but there's a flag, and he was hit pretty early. I think that's going to be DPI. It is. Wow, utter meltdown by the Chargers here in the final few minutes. Bryce Callahan That's a 50, 60-yard swap of play of field of where we're at on the field. And now Mills fires it off to Johnson, and Johnson tries to lower the shoulder. It does not work. Does not work at all. A minute and a half to go. Mills, pressure coming, got to throw it. He does to the end zone, and it's intercepted right back. No! Oh, man, I thought we were in for the comeback of the season. And instead, he tries to test Jackson one more time, working against Mims. And it was the one time too many. And that is going to be how this game ends. You know, even though we lost, I have a really good feeling about this breakout scenario. And we do. We are going to get the breakout scenario for Jonathan Grenard because we got him the sacks he needed. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but right at the end of the last video, I mentioned that he had a breakout scenario, and we are going to get him up to star dev. Awesome to see. Definitely deserving of it. And he's going to get 20,000 XP. I don't know how many more games we are going to end up watching this season, just because it's been obviously it hasn't been very interesting to see. This team needs a lot of work. I understood that coming into it, and I always knew that the first season would probably be the hardest to watch before we got a chance to really put our fingerprint on things. So next video we'll probably do a lot of simming and see where things fall. You know, maybe watch one more game or two towards the end. But this season is probably close to being done for us for games we're going to watch, and we'll just start really focusing on re-signs, draft prospects, and the free agency, and getting that taken care of. So with that being said, that's all I got today. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're not already. Also, what do you guys think of Denzel Mims, man? Does this guy need to play more? Does Denzel Mims need to be in our starting lineup even when Brandon Cooks returns? Or was it just a slider issue? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys next time.